You get a new one.
That was dramatic.
Earn another dramatic. Okay, we're gonna call the meeting to order at, what time is it? 7:30 p.m. Dr. Stevens, could you take attendance?
Absolutely. Mrs. Whited,
Here.
Mr. White. Here. Ms. Soroka.
Here.
Ms. Donnelly.
Here.
And Mr. Daniels. Here. And our student reps are absent. They are in the gym.
As they should be.
Can we stand for the pledge of allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mrs. Boardman, do we have any public comments? We do not. No. Do we have any public comments from the floor? We have, excuse me, Molly McGrath is going to do the special education presentation, please.
Now?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right.
You're up.
I'm ready. Good evening, everyone. I'm Molly McGrath, Director of Special Education and Student Support Services. And tonight I will be providing a brief update on special education. All right, so we'll start with our mission because that's important to our special education department, is that we, of course, want to inspire, educate, and challenge every student every day. And these are just some fun photos of some of our students in our different programs. So quick overview, the most important point that I want to share with you tonight is that we have a growing number of students with disabilities with increasing needs, including preschool. So our preschool numbers are on the rise, and I'm going to share a little bit about that process with you. Number two, we are strengthening our continuum of services, and this is year 2 of our Riverside partnership, so I'll give you a quick update on how that's been going. And then the special ed department, both federally and state, we have a lot of regulations and there's a lot of compliance. I'll share about our IDEA accountability status, some of the work we're doing to increase our subgroup for New York State testing, some good news about our suspension rates, and how we're working to support our students in the least restrictive environment. And then number 4, I just wanted to share that this is year 2 of having a dedicated person to our transition services. Our coordinator, Becky LaForest, is doing a great job helping our high school students with disabilities really engage in meaningful opportunities to plan for their future. She has partnerships with Access VR, the Center for Independence, and most recently, she invited the Schenectady Community College Medical Mobile Lab to the district. So our students with disabilities got to have a taste of that. If you can see, there's a patient way in the back of the lab that they're engaging with. So that was pretty fun. So one of the things we're monitored on is our classification rate. So this is a snapshot of the past 5 years. And as you'll see from 2021, we had around 265 students with disabilities. And on Beds Day of this year, it's a date in October where they capture the data, we had 299 students with disabilities, putting our classification rate just around 20%. So we are a high needs district. 20%, you think 1 out of every 5 students has an educational disability. So special education is a continuum of services. So we try our best to support our students in regular education. And as you move down the continuum, it gets a little bit more supportive or a little bit more restrictive, we would say. So 299 was our student count on Beds Day. For this time of year, I reran our numbers. We have 328 students with disabilities, which puts our classification rate around 22%. So it's a moving target because new students get identified. We get transfer students in who already have IEPs and services. And this is just a breakdown of where those students are. Most of our students are at the elementary school and the junior senior high. We have 15 students in other public school districts, which is our Riverside partnership. We have 29 students at BOCES programs, and then 27 students in private schools for special education, and 3 that their needs are so great that they're placed at home right now. So the out-of-district students, BOCES, private schools, Riverside, make up 71 students who attend 23 other locations outside of our district. So I just wanted to share that with you because that's a lot of students in a lot of different places, which really requires a high level of coordination, a very costly transportation plan to get these students to the right places to receive the services they need. So it's just an idea that all of our students aren't here with us at Waterville. They are in the places they need to be. So a little bit on preschool. This is kind of a similar snapshot on Beds Day. You start in October with how many preschool special education students you have. That's the CPSE is the Committee on Preschool Special Education. So you'll see back in 2021 and 2022, we started with 27, ended with 45. So last year is a good example, 24-25, we started with 24, we ended with 59, 27 of them transitioning into kindergarten. So the preschool process, people think we start school at kindergarten, but in special education, we really start at 2 years old. So we get identified, we receive notice of 2-year-olds who are getting county services that need to have an evaluation and a meeting before their 3rd birthday. So the special education office, Ms. Van Wagner and me, we have to make sure they get registered, they sign consent for evaluations, we schedule a meeting, we invite the agencies that they're working with. So there's a lot that happens behind the scene for a 2 to 3-year-old entering the district with services. And you'll see those numbers are growing. So this year, we started with 22, which seems about normal for us. But we're already at 42 in December. So I can imagine what that number might be in June. Any questions on preschool? Okay, so quick update on Riverside. These are the component districts that are partnering to provide more specialized and focused services. So Waterville, Manans, Green Island, and Cohoes. This year, both Green Island and Waterville, we opened a middle school class because we're taking these programs and then our students are aging up. So we need to plan for where they're gonna go for middle school. So we opened a 12-1-2 here at the middle school, and then Green Island, who has the social, emotional, and behavioral focus, opened a middle school behavior room. So that's been going really well. And Cohoes just started participating this year by sending us a few students, and we have a student over at Cohoes who transferred to us. They had some medical complications. They were doing really well in their program, so it makes sense to keep them right there. And then Cohoes and Waterville share a speech therapist, so that's been a really nice partnership as well. These are just a few pictures of your old friends who are at the Manans program, really doing well because they're in the right place with the right level of support, and they're just thriving. So we're really excited about that. And here are some more of our Waterville students attending Manans programs. So compliance, IDEA is the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. So federally, we're required to follow a lot of laws for special education. So New York State used to check in on an indicator every year. So you were required to report on one thing each year and it would rotate. Maybe they check on your special education graduation rate one year. Maybe the next year they check on your parent participation. Well, this year, the state said we're going to rate all districts on all indicators every year. So that was really exciting. And so they came up with this complicated matrix that I'm trying to simplify for you. There's a compliance side where you can earn a total of 23 points. So our district did earn all 23 points because we are compliant. Those are things we can control, like due dates and timelines, things that we do really well with. And then there's a performance matrix where you could earn a total of 22 points, and we earned 9 out of those 22 points, which puts us, our overall score, as a 66.67 and we are in need of assistance because we fall right between that 60 and 80% bucket. But some of the performance things are really challenging, like New York State test scores for students with disabilities, and it's really hard to earn your points in those categories. So, not terrible. It's a work in progress and something we continue to focus on. So this is really good news. I think you've heard us talk for years that we've been monitoring our suspension rate for students with disabilities. And Don and I were thrilled when this came out from the state that we do not have any discrepancies for over suspending students with disabilities. So we got a none in that category. We were thrilled. And we are no longer disproportionately suspending Black students with disabilities. So none in that category, which we've been working really hard in that area. So that's a screenshot right from the state website. We do not have significant disproportionality. So that's something we're celebrating. Woo! We continue to focus on our test scores. So tracking our progress for students with disabilities on both the New York State Math, ELA, and Science test. We were given a potential targeted district designation for our middle school students with disabilities. And that was in 24-25, but this year we don't have that designation. So we are local support, and that is because our students are making progress. And this is just a little snapshot of our 6th grade students with IEPs. You'll see who scored a level 1, a level 2, a level 3. So we're working on the 1s becoming 2s and the 2s becoming 3s. And it's a heavy lift when you have services, and these are really rigorous tests. All right, that's the last. Any questions?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Stevens, would you like to speak?
Yes.
Absolutely. First off, thanks to Molly. I appreciate Ms. McGrath coming in and sharing a little bit of a snapshot of where we are with our special ed population. And I appreciate she ran home to put her child to bed and make sure he was ready for dad to put him to bed so that she could be back here. So thank you for coming. And I gave many of the other administrators the night off. They were all told they didn't have to be here but Molly, but they decided to come anyway. Busy night, as you saw with the parking lot. We've got our capital project vote going on currently for another 15 or 16 minutes. We had gingerbread making with our Family Opportunity Center grant in the small gym. That was an exciting time. Some of the staff from the Office of Children and Family Services were here to observe and visit. So it was nice to show them all the work that Ms. McKee and Mrs. Webster did to pull that off. We haven't heard any big hoots and hollers, so hopefully the boys basketball game in the gym is going well and we can get out of here in a moment's notice or pause so that we can go check the final score. It's a busy night. Some of you were here last Thursday. Actually, everybody was here last Thursday for the school concert. Congratulations to the middle school and high school music students and their teachers. They did a phenomenal job. I thought it was extremely impressive. I was telling many of them that I have not seen a student conduct and to have them conduct the middle school concert or one of the songs was pretty awesome. Looking ahead, our first girls basketball is tomorrow night at 5:30 here in the gym. We have another boys game on Thursday. Keep an eye out for our school bus that'll be in the holiday parade next Wednesday. We'll talk later if we wanted to ride the school bus or not. And then on Thursday of next week is the elementary school winter concert. So hopefully I'll see you there. As the year kind of comes to a close, special thanks to Mr. Tom Martin for filling in for Mrs. Massett at the elementary school. I was walking with a student today that needed a little break, and the minute he saw Mr. Martin sitting in another classroom, he needed to stop and make sure that he waved to say hello. And as soon as Mr. Martin was done with what he was doing, he came to visit that student and check on him. So it was just one of those moments of like, what a calming presence that he's had for the last for the last couple of weeks. We look forward to Mrs. Massett returning at the start of the new year. And I don't know that I'll see many of you again until 2026, so I wish all of you a happy and healthy end of 2025. I think that's all I have.
Thank you, Dr. Stevens. Committee reports. The audit committee met last week with Dr. Stevens, Mr. Hyde, and a representative from the auditor. We went over the corrective action plan. There were no major issues or infractions, so the audit is good this year, once again. We'll get back to the audit committee again in another year, I guess. Heather, do you have anything from the policy committee?
Nothing from policy.
Nothing from policy, okay. Obviously, no student council report tonight. Board discussion, does anyone have anything? No. I just want to say congratulations to on the winter concert. I echo Dr. Stevens, it was a great show. The kids did a phenomenal job. I was very impressed by the young lady too. I look forward to the elementary school concert. And the only other thing I wanted to mention was a congrats to the PTA. The breakfast with Santa went off pretty well. We were there for a while. Daryl was there at the beginning, make sure everything was okay in the cafeteria. We went and we had breakfast, and it was a real Santa that was there. We had an awesome Santa again this year. Yes, yep. Nobody has anything else, correct?
If I can interject and steal a couple moments of your time. Mrs. Webster, Ms. Demento, and I are participating with Capital Region BOCES on a little workshop of implementing artificial intelligence, AI, in schools. So we, over the next week or two, are going to focus on some surveys for staff, for students, and we have some stakeholder group conversations to ask some questions regarding AI and what they think of it and how they think it should be used. And we're gathering all of that to bring back to our next session in January. So with that, part of your discussion tonight, I'd like to grab a couple minutes of your time and ask you, when you hear artificial intelligence or AI, what are some of the first things that come to your mind? And this is for the board members, because you are a stakeholder group. So things that might come to mind when you hear of AI, and possibly if you've encountered it or use it in some way, feel free to share.
Technology?
I use AI on a pretty regular basis at work. So I would say ChatGPT is probably the one that is the most commonly known. There are lots of others. We use it in a sales aspect to help us prospect and find new businesses within an industry. So if I want to target healthcare workers for corporate housing, I would use a program that has an AI component to, help me find companies within certain markets that are in that particular industry. I can do that in construction and different things that we do. So we use AI a lot. On the property management side, we also use AI to help us lease apartments. So you don't talk to a human until we know you are serious about leasing and are qualified to do so. So it's not all good, obviously, and it does lose the human touch a bit, but we use it quite a bit.
Everybody else?
I use it at work for just emails and creating pamphlets for customers and stuff like that. Just use it for more one-on-one rather than group work.
We create job descriptions, and with mine, it knows me now and has my personality and my tone of voice, and so I think it's fascinating. And I think the more you use it, and the more precise you are in what you ask for, the better results you get. But I tend to be very matter of fact and somewhat blunt and to the point. And sometimes I have to say, make this sound. Sometimes I have to say, make this sound friendly, right? Because I don't want it to sound like I'm. But it's hard when you have employees and you're trying to get a point across seriously for money. But I do I've had even my kids it's like an encyclopedia in some ways, and they don't have access to that anymore. So I think it's we learned about it at a session at a conference recently. Like, was that last year's?
Yep.
Or summer leadership or something?
Yeah.
They spoke a lot.
As you think about use in the classroom, what ways do you think students should be able to use AI in the classroom for their work? Or should not? Should or should not?
I think they should be able to use it for brainstorming, simpler pieces to something that they're being asked to do. Obviously, at the end of it, whatever they compose should be theirs, but as adults, I mean, we use it.
Right, I use ChatGPT if I have to do
Right.
any, like when I did the welcome speech and things like that, any little speeches or anything I might have to make, I go to ChatGPT to do that.
Okay.
I think there's definitely going to be a need to learn how to use it correctly.
If they're not already,
I mean, they're using it in different aspects. They don't even realize they're using AI, but they're
Right.
using it in some aspects anyway.
I mean, like
But-
Siri, you use Siri every
Right,
day.
right,
Exactly.
AI and everything.
Exactly.
So it's a skill they're gonna need to learn. They're also going to need to learn sort of the rules and expectations that go with it.
What kind of rules and expectations do you think needs to be implemented?
Well, I think plagiarism is going to be a major concern.
We should probably rewrite the code of conduct for the students and stuff.
Right, you're gonna have to
Coming from
establish a set of
Recent.
norms and expectations, but
Anything that you think that we need to use AI maybe in our role here as board or leaders?
I mean, it could certainly do the work of some things that we do, but
wait,
we don't need to.
How might we use AI in our role as leaders of the district?
Like, it could do your agenda for you on a very simple level, right?
Ooh,
True.
look at that
But
bird.
it could also.
okay, no, it can't burn, no, it can't.
I'm just saying, not like me, but whatever. No, I'm kidding.
Bird could use it to do these. But you know what I mean? Like, it could do little things, but it can also.
I should try it to see what it looks like.
Right?
It'll start to talk like you and think like you, it's
Yeah.
fun. It's
That would be
nice,
fun.
right? Play nice.
Right?
It really does. I no longer have to tell it like what kind of business I run. It just knows.
Yeah.
Wow. It keeps track of all that. And it will even ask a question, like, would you like me to do this for you? Yes, yes, please, that sounds great.
On a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is no knowledge at all, and 10, you're a total expert, what do you think your rating would be of AI?
Oh, I can confidently say about a 2, if that.
Okay,
Maybe about a 1.
1,
Yeah, I'd go on the lower level, like I am nowhere near what, yeah, I'm gonna say like 4.
4,
That was with a question mark, but that's okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I can appreciate that I have no idea, even though I use it on a regular basis.
Right, the big.
I still have no idea. So I would probably say 4 too. There's so much more.
I'd probably say a 3.
all right, last question. What specific concerns or challenges do you think that you anticipate as we move forward as a district with the use of AI?
Protecting data,
Collecting data,
protecting.
protecting, good.
Mhm.
There's some concern around giving it too much information and stored,
And then it knows you, and it knows your voice, and it knows your personality, yay.
And if you're
Less
talking
than-
students, the
Oh,
plagiarism,
Right, the rules.
I mean,
are-
it's
the-
very easy to go onto ChatGPT and say, I need an English paper on whatever, and have it write it for you, so.
I think it takes away
By
from
no
critical
means.
thinking a little bit.
Right.
And human interaction,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
right? Like we're sitting there talking to this thing is technology rather than maybe calling somebody or talking with another human that we could bounce ideas off of. Instead, we're just typing away in our own little world.
I think on a positive note though, in some ways, it makes you more inquisitive. So like, you might ask it a question or be looking for some sort of information, but then it feeds you back like a suggestion on, do you want to learn more about this? And so I think it could be for some
Great.
kids. I see Lily using it maybe as like a way to like, learn more, and then she'll be like digging into something deeper, whereas Sparks will just be looking for the answer. But,
Sometimes those rabbit holes could be.
but the rabbit hole could be good sometimes, and
It's funny, Mrs. Webster and I just sat on a call about a product that is all AI, that is essentially a math tutor. That while students are working on independent work, not teacher direction or instruction happening in the classroom, but independent work, it's like a little bot on the side of their computer that the student gets to ask questions and show their work and get feedback on how they're solving problems to guide them through, because 25 kids, the teacher can't tutor all 25 kids at once. So we'll see how it goes. We're gonna possibly do a pilot for a couple months and see what it looks like. But I appreciate it. Thanks for your feedback. I think that this is important. I took lots of notes. If you have more things that you think about as you drive home or ponder in bed tonight, feel free to send them my way. I shared all those questions with you, so feel free to comment and get them back to me. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna move along to personal items. Resolved that the board, excuse me, for the status of tenure to Leah Tremblay in the area of speech effective January 18th, 2026, as recommended by the superintendent. Could I have a motion? Heather? Could I get a second?
I'll second.
Kyle? Excuse me. Anything on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, the motion has passed.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Sorry, I'll just interject again, but tenure is something that we treasure in our district and we don't just hand it out lightly. So congratulations, and you should be proud to call yourself a candidate.
thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
She also put her child for
Both of them.
children.
Okay. I am going to ask for a consent agenda on items 2 through 14. Could I get a motion? Victoria, could I have a second?
I'll say.
Brian or Kyle. Anything on the motion? All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Hearing none, the motion has passed. And can I have a motion to recess until 8:30 and then we will reconvene? Could I get a motion?
Make a motion.
Brian, I'll second. Anything on the motion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing none, the motion has passed. That we will end now and reconvene at 8:30. There's my cookies. Thank you.
There's plenty of
Yes.
cookies.
Oh,
Plenty of cookies in the back.